I am so excited to welcome my guest, Erin Perkins, to my podcast. She is a triple negative breast cancer thriver, young breast cancer advocate, and also author of Young Breast Cancer, Your Story and Mine, a compact guide. Welcome to the podcast, Erin.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you. I've never met you.
Nice to meet. I know. I feel like people that follow me, they're like, I feel like I've met you before, but we've never
I know.
actually met. So tell me a little bit about your breast cancer diagnosis and why breast cancer in the adolescent and young adult community is so important to you.
Yeah, I was diagnosed in January of 2021, and it was like right before I turned 35. So I was 34. And let's see, I didn't know that it was triple negative right away. I thought
Mm-hmm.
I kind of had a difficult experience with my first surgeon. And so
Mm-hmm.
I needed to transfer care, and she was difficult. So she kind of like, I don't know if she meant to, but she wouldn't tell me more information when I asked her.
Mm-hmm.
So she just told me I had invasive ductal carcinoma at first, and then I had to have another biopsy on a lymph node to determine my stage and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
it took me until the day before my birthday, so about a week, to find out that it was actually, so I had like 2% estrogen. So they
Mm-hmm.
said, the receptors are 2% estrogen, 0 progesterone, and HER2 negative. And
Mm-hmm.
like when you don't know anything, you go, oh, negative's
Yeah.
good.
Right. That's right.
That's probably good.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So
All three negative and breast cancer. Right.
seemed good to me, but I
But
didn't
how would you
know.
know that? Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't know for a
Right.
while. Like they weren't using the words triple negative at all.
Yeah.
And then, so I was like in the chemo chair by the time I heard someone talk about it. And then they were talking about it
Mm-hmm.
negatively. And I was like,
Mm.
no, I'm scared.
Yeah. So tell me, did you find a lump, I guess? Is that how it started?
Yes. Yeah, yeah, I did. I was still nursing my second child. He was
Mm-hmm.
old. He was old. He was,
With no judgment here.
I know, he was 2 and 5 months. So in my brain, like, I was like, I'm going to stop when he's 3. But so the reason that matters is because I was more involved in my breasts. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know about I didn't do self breast exams. I didn't know about breast health or anything. But I was
Mm-hmm.
like in there because of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I noticed a change really fast. Like there was nothing and then there was something big like that I could feel.
Mm-hmm.
But I was still like, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong, and like looking up on
Right.
Google and I think it's moving. I
Yeah.
don't know. Like,
Right.
and but I also like I had a postpartum anxiety problem after I had him.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had like this really intense fear of germs where I would like
Mm-hmm.
trace everything back and go like I shouldn't have left my house because that's why we're sick. And it was COVID.
I
So
was going to say it was probably COVID, so that
yes,
exacerbates it.
it did. And yeah, so I kept going like, well, I don't want to go in the doctor because then I could get this
Mm-hmm.
thing. And I never thought I could have cancer. So I didn't believe it for a long time. And I'll tell you, my
Mm-hmm.
aunt on my dad's side, he has had one sister, and she was diagnosed at 34 as well with breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no clue that that increased my risk at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I
Yeah.
was like at Susan G. Komen walks since I was 9 with her, and I still had no
Wow.
idea, no idea, you know?
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because breast cancer is the most common cancer during breastfeeding. Breast cancer is the most common cancer during breastfeeding, even though breastfeeding is, protective
Right,
with regards to breast cancer, but still not enough.
right. Yeah, yes, yeah. And so,
So you went to a radiologist or did you go straight to a surgeon? Like how did that kind of work
no,
out?
actually, I first went to primary care
Hmm.
because I wasn't sure what to do. So I just called
Yeah.
her, and she had me come in and she felt it. And I think she was concerned, like looking back. But at first, I was like
Hmm.
just hoping it was nothing. So she told me, like, we need to send you to radiology
Right.
and
Yep.
get a mammogram and an ultrasound, which I didn't know they did for
Hmm.
breasts.
Yeah.
So I cried right away, but I still didn't
Hmm.
think it was anything.
Right.
Yeah. So then I went and they were kind of talking to me like I knew what they were seeing, and I didn't. So they were like showing me, and I'm like, okay, so it's not a cyst. What else could it be? You know? And I think they were like
Yeah.
trying not to say we know it's cancer, but I think they knew,
Yeah.
or they were pretty sure
Yeah.
anyway.
I find myself in that situation often, and it's a fine line because right, you're coming in hoping it's a cyst, and we know it's not a cyst, and
Yeah.
we're suspicious. Like, and you don't know exactly where you are on. Are you ready to accept that yet? You know, so it is
Right.
a tough.
Yeah.
But so they eventually, hopefully, did a biopsy, and
Yeah,
that showed.
they did. They sent me out from that place to this surgeon that ended up not being great. And
Mm-hmm.
she, because they also saw a suspicious lymph node. And then
Mm-hmm.
I was sent to this local surgeon thing. And she was like, I'm just going to biopsy the breast. And then if it's negative, we won't do the lymph node.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really know about self-advocacy yet, but I wish if I could go
Mm-hmm.
back, I would tell her, please just do it right now. Because I had to wait, you know, to find the
Yeah.
information. Like, am I stage 2 or am I stage 3 or am I metastatic? Like,
Mm-hmm.
all of it was open until they checked.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, after she called me and then said it was invasive ductal carcinoma and that my new care team would tell me the rest. So
Mm-hmm.
then I got the lymph node biopsied and then like 7 around it, which I was grateful for, and they were all
Mm-hmm.
negative. So that was a big deal. Yeah.
So triple negative breast cancer means that your estrogen, progesterone, and HER2 receptors are negative. They can be more aggressive. They tend to grow faster
Okay.
and they can pop up like you described, you know, between 1 week to the next. It tends to be in a younger patient population, so somebody like you. And they tend to be metastatic a little bit further along than, you know, other breast cancers because they grow so fast.
Right. Right.
And they could be a little bit harder to treat, unfortunately.
Right. Which is so, that's so wild to me because afterwards now I'm
Yeah.
learning way more and I attend like the San Antonio Breast Cancer Symposium virtually the past 3 years
Hmm.
as a patient advocate, listening to all the
Hmm.
things that they're
Yeah.
trying to come up with and like how triple negative is actually more than one thing, you know, but it's kind of like they treat us all and then sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And that is like, I mean, that time frame of like, so I had 16 chemotherapy infusions for AC,
Wow.
the Red Devil, you know, which was
Hmm.
based, it was like every 2 weeks. And then
Hmm.
switched to Taxol, which I did 12 weeks in a row. Um,
Okay.
and then after that, you get the surgery. And then after your
Yeah.
surgery, wait like a day, 2 days, some amount of time. And then you find out that your chemo work, you know? It's like mind
Hmm.
numbing, like the wait. It's
Yeah.
wild. Yeah.
I think it's really hard, you know, hearing those statistics and you're like, damn, like this is what I have, you know, and
Yeah.
it's just disheartening. And, but yet we see so many young people that are thriving after triple negative breast cancer. So I think it's important, you know, you could hear these statistics, but you're not a statistic,
That's right.
right?
That's right. Yeah.
And I think that's really important. And the more stories we share about triple negative thrivers, then
Hmm.
the more we could see that it's not a death sentence
Right.
necessarily.
Yeah. And it's
Right.
getting
So
more and more like understanding
yeah,
research treatments. Because even the immunotherapy, Keynote
yeah.
522, it came out
Hmm.
like 2 weeks after I finished chemo
Wow.
in 2021. And like, now the treatment plan is different even from when I had it. It's like that's encouraging,
Wow.
It's encouraging to know.
Yeah, right. So it's showing major strides since you were
Yeah.
even diagnosed a few years ago. So
Yeah.
now, did you get immunotherapy as part of your treatment plan?
I did not. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I qualified for, well, I pre-qualified, possibly qualified for a different immunotherapy clinical trial that was going on at the time. So
Hmm.
I said yes to it. I signed up, but then, with triple negative, I've heard stories where you're diagnosed and then by the time you start chemo, your tumor has doubled, you know?
Right.
So it was already getting up to a month from diagnosis and I needed to
Yeah.
start chemo. And since it showed that I had 2% estrogen, I didn't qualify for
Hmm.
the trial unless I had one or less. So they were going to send it
Mm.
to the people that were doing the clinical trial in Philly and I'm in North
Hmm.
Carolina. and just to check if I was eligible. But then there was this storm, and anyway, so I just pulled out and I didn't do it. But yeah,
Yeah. Dr. Toplinski, who is an amazing resource, Dr.
yes,
Eleanor Toplinski,
I know
she
her.
said that, yeah, now she's amazing. She said that
Hmm.
immunotherapy is now standard of care,
Hmm.
and also PARP inhibitors
Hmm.
is a big advancement since probably you were treated.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, yeah, I learned a lot from her too.
Yeah.
Yes.
She she specifically said that it's immunotherapy is standard of care with neoadjuvant chemo for stage 2 to 3 triple negative breast cancer and PARP inhibitors used for patients with high risk triple negative breast cancer. No pathological complete response. So when you went to surgery, if they
Mm.
found a residual tumor and a BRCA mutation.
Okay, the
And then
PARP
she also
inhibitor.
said
Yeah.
that
Sorry.
yeah. And then she also said that research is being done to de-escalate Keytruda if pathologic complete response and novel combination immunotherapy, but Keytruda right now is standard of care. So
Yeah.
for anyone
And,
listening.
yeah, and the part that's cool. The PARP inhibitor is the one that's given to people who are BRCA positive and don't get PCO.
Yeah,
So I think my friend Chance,
right.
who a lot of people in the community, Chance Osborne, they know.
Hmm.
I think she took something like that afterwards,
Hmm.
and I don't qualify
Yeah,
because
but it just shows you, like you said,
yeah, how far it's come. I know
it just, yeah, it's how far it's come in the past few years. So it's hopeful for
it
the
is.
triple negative breast cancer community.
It really is. Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah. So I did receive pathology complete response, which to me felt like
Okay.
just a miracle, you know.
Hmm.
And then I don't have the gene, any of the genes. So
Hmm.
basically it was like you find out you get pathology complete response and then treatment's over. I didn't even qualify for radiation because
Mm.
my tumor size, 3.6 centimeters, my radiation oncologist said that if it was 5 or higher, then I could still
Hmm.
have radiation even with mastectomy. But because it was
Hmm.
3.6, I didn't qualify. But I was afraid because, like, that decision is crazy. Like, where you go
Hmm.
lumpectomy and radiation or a mastectomy without. And I, like, see,
Hmm.
radiation has, like, such a, like, it's so scary and hard and, like, terrible, but
Yeah.
it's effective, you know? And like,
Right.
and I wasn't of, a lot of people think that if you get a mastectomy, then you have no chance of getting cancer there again but there's
Not
still,
true.
yeah, there's still like the scar line and
A
everything.
little bit. Yeah. There's still residual. I mean, even if you have a complete mastectomy, there's still like
Yeah.
10% of residual breast tissue. So,
Yeah.
and, and, and I think the also scary thing is like you're not screened regularly with imaging. You're screened on physical exam,
Right.
and that can be a scary place to be after having gone through what you went through.
Super scary. Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
why for me, knowing how far my anxiety can go, I just went
Hmm.
like double mastectomy. And then I
Hmm.
got the radiation oncologist to agree that if I did not get pathology complete response, he would offer radiation
Hmm.
anyway, because it was
Hmm.
just, near the size that it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So that made me feel good,
It's so interesting that you were like fighting for radiation. I feel like you're like, please radiate me.
I was scared, like whatever you can do, I want you to do it. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, congratulations on your new book, Young Breast Cancer, Your Story and Mine.
Thank
Did
you.
it come out like today?
It comes out tomorrow. Yeah, March 18th.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You want
How
to
are
see
you
it?
feeling about
The
that?
photo. Here's it.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, it's pretty.
Young Breast Cancer, Your Story, Mine. That's so beautiful.
I know. My friend designed the cover, and she's
Huh?
an artist. She's so talented.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to write this book and what could people expect from this book?
Yeah. So I really always wanted to write a book. I like writing. I've been doing it a lot. I've written for like Wildfire Magazine, Elephants and Tea, a few other like online non-cancer things.
Hmm.
And Tiger Lily actually. But I always wanted to write a book. I thought it would be something else, obviously, because I didn't know that I was gonna have cancer young.
Yeah.
But then it's like, yeah, there's a few things like with triple negative where we get to kind of relax after 5 years a little bit. Like, okay,
Yeah.
if you hit the 5 year mark, your likelihood is so low because it grows so fast it would have already shown up.
Hmm.
So those 5 years to me felt like a challenge. Like, let's do the things
Hmm.
we want to do, you know? So I call it like doing the some days, you know, you have a list of
Mm-hmm.
someday all whatever. So then I'm like, okay, I'm writing this book, you know, and then I
Mm-hmm.
decided to make this book because I had looked up kind of like at the time, you know, what existed already. And everything is hard to find. Like there are things that
Yeah.
exist, they're hard to find, like they get outdated, you know, things like that. And the other part is it wasn't easy to find one written by a survivor only.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, like a few came out since I started writing, like Sabrina Skiles wrote
Mm-hmm.
one and a few others. A few metastatic friends of mine wrote books, which are, that's so vital too. Different perspective than mine,
Mm-hmm.
of course.
Absolutely.
And then I know Dr. Toplitzky's writing one, which will be such an
She
asset. Yeah,
it's going to be an incredible resource too. And
totally.
it's a good companion. I mean, I think you offer more of the story part, especially having gone through it personally.
Right. I know it's a different perspective. Um,
Yeah.
and so part of it is kind of like related to that point is like I'm like I'm a people person. I am like I have diagnosed ADHD.
Me
Like I
too.
hey that's good.
Yay.
Um, and like
What? What?
oh
Sorry. Just
the
kidding.
bird, here's a bird. No.
Yeah. Right. There's the hawk.
Wait, hold on.
That's right. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, and also like just but for me like intellectual things like I've always been like I'm just like I connect with people and I don't know, not I'm not fancy. So and I don't know a lot of like big words and whatever. So I just thought like okay, what a cool thing to be like I start understanding from my experience and like what I've learned along the way and I can put it in there to it's like kind of
Mm.
like unpacking the it's like there's even a chapter called the language you didn't learn in high school, you know, it's a whole
I
language
like
that we
that.
don't, you know, we don't
Hmm.
know it until we have to
Yeah.
learn it. And so that it mixed with like my like interests in community and everyone being there for each other, humans being human together, which is Desmond Tutu that I
Hmm.
love, um,
I
kind
love
of
it.
idea. And then with when you're diagnosed, there's like it's so overwhelming, and you want to know
Yeah.
things, but it's scary. So like something I talk about
Yeah.
is like you want to Google things, but you want to keep your eyes closed. Oh, I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Right.
like
You just don't know what you could stumble upon.
I
Like you could
know
fall down the wrong rabbit hole so easily.
it's terrifying, and this book won't be
Yeah.
like okay now you don't ever have to do that, but sometimes you might not have to because there'll be stuff in here that it's set
Hmm.
up so that you can go like there's it's a few chapters. It's very short. It's number one. It's very short. There's
Hmm.
my story, and then there's like the language you didn't learn in high school, where to go when you learn your tumor is malignant, and then there's a chapter on kids because my kids were 6 and 2 when I was diagnosed,
Hmm.
but not everyone has kids, which I know. So then there's like I interviewed a bunch of people on fertility
Hmm.
preservation and on dating
So important.
because
Yeah.
these are
Oh, wow.
huge,
I
you
like
know,
that.
yeah. And I didn't have to do that stuff. So I just went around the community, asked for people to interview, and I got
That's
several.
so important.
Yeah. And I also interviewed people that had radiation since I didn't.
Hmm.
And then I talk about making the decisions about surgery and chemotherapy and like going
Hmm.
through it. But none of it is medical advice at all. It's just like, I had to make this decision. Here's what it felt like. Here's what I
Yeah.
chose and here's why I chose
That's.
it, you know, and here's what other
Hmm.
people chose and, you know, things like that.
Yeah.
And then there's a chapter on survivorship and then there's a glossary of terms. So basically it's like
That's nice.
choose your own adventure almost. So like you could go
Yeah.
in there and be like, I have kids and I was just diagnosed. I can't read this whole thing right now, but what does she say about
Yeah.
kids? You know, like
Right.
then you're not
So it's
as over,
digestible.
yeah, you're not as
Yeah.
overwhelmed. So that's the idea.
That's.
And then I think also the perspective I come from, that was what I was going to say earlier, is different than what I had found. So I'm not a positive person, but
Hmm.
I'm not negative, you know. I'm like
Uh-huh.
I'm a realist. So if
Uh-huh.
if you're told that you have cancer, you're allowed to think that sucks, you know? You're allowed
Hmm.
to be under your cover crying, you know? You're allowed
Yeah.
to feel your feelings. Obviously, your mindset like helps you get through the thing, but it's not you have to be honest with yourself and with others about
Yeah.
how you're doing and get what you
Yeah.
need to get through it. So I'm fighting against toxic positivity also in the book, because I just think that I couldn't find that, because people want you to be like, no, you're going to be okay, like rally. And I agree, but
Fucking
also
sucks, right?
it's first you can say, hey, this blows. I don't want to do this, And so I just talk about that. And then the other thing I call this book is it's a friend in book form. So it's like you're bringing your friend. You're bringing your friend to chemo. You're bringing your friend, through your experience, so that you're not alone. So
I love that.
yeah.
And now your book is available on all platforms, like, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's cool.
Starting tomorrow, look for Young Breast Cancer, Your Story and Mine, right?
Yeah.
That's so awesome. Tell me more about the Young Breast Cancer Project. I know you're very involved with them.
Yeah, so that's like a part. I would say the Young Breast Cancer Project, Triple Negative Foundation, probably Tiger Lily Foundation, and the last one is Wildfire Magazine, Elephant City Magazine. All these people, they like are the community that helped like me make this happen, kind of, like April from Wildfire with her prompts for writing, like that brought a lot of things out that I needed to get out. But Young Breast Cancer Project it's where I've been serving, I guess, for the past 3 years, I think. And I found it actually because of Wildfire. So I was in a writing workshop thing, and the founder of Young Breast Cancer Project was in it with me, and there's like 6 of us. Her name is, I forgot her name because my brain's bad. Anyway,
Chemo.
Missy
Chemo
Peters.
brain, right?
I got it. Missy Peters. Yeah. And she started first the Breast Cancer Portrait Project. So she was taking these beautiful photos that you see.
I love those.
I know.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. So
They're beautiful.
she took so many of women diagnosed under age 45. She learned along the process like so many stories of missed and delayed diagnoses. And then that became like the catalyst to launch programmatic efforts through the Young Breast Cancer Project. So we use the photos, we use the stories, and we're collecting more stories. And the thing that we do is breast health education for the general public, often at like sororities and things in colleges, college level. But we also do community events. I just did one on Saturday at my gym. And we do like a education model in the medical community. So specifically, mostly with medical students. So just going into medical students and telling our stories and telling the stories of the people that Missy photographed and making like case studies out of them. And like the difference in outcomes that, could have been if somebody in the room said, no, they're not too young. So yeah. So this year,
important. Yeah.
our theme this year is not too young. And we're just collecting stories of people and saying, like, we're here and we're growing. So please don't say, come back in 6 months. That has to go away. That has to die.
Yeah. So I am 100% with you. I mean, I'm the radiologist. So like I'm the doctor that you would meet once you got past your primary care doctor to be sent for imaging. And unfortunately, a lot of times it takes people a while to get into imaging for their doctor to order the appropriate imaging.
Right.
For them to take their breast complaints seriously. And I think a lot of times, unfortunately, people are falsely reassured that they're too young for breast cancer when we know that's not true. We know that the rates in young breast cancer is rising. We don't know why.
Right.
I mean, I think it's a lot of multifactorial reasons, but I do think it's so important that, healthcare providers take breast complaints seriously no matter the age.
Yes.
Because people of all age can get breast cancer. If you have breast, you can get breast cancer. Even if you don't have breast, you can get breast cancer, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's so important.
Yeah. So
I think that's a big part of my platform too. So I feel very passionate about that as well.
I know. That's why suddenly I'm like, oh, we better talk about this. But because and our operation is we're small and mighty, and we need people. So like we're basically
I would love to get connected.
I know, you got it. Missy ended up stepping back because sometimes, survivors start needing like just space from the thing. And she, left it with us. We're all volunteers and we're a board of directors. That's all, just like 9 of us, and we're making the thing work. We all live different places, and it's awesome. So right now also in California, the California 4 people that live there, they're working on this study, a research study. It's called the BRAVE study, where they're interviewing people diagnosed between 18 and 45 with breast cancer through the University of Fullerton with a doctor. And like, so they're writing a paper basically and doing a research study and to prove our point even further so we can take it out to different things, ASCO and places. Yeah, so we've got a few things going. We're partnered with Know Your Lemons also, since they do breast health education in the general public. We hadn't seen anyone trying to talk to medical professionals, so we were trying to add that in just to keep things going, you know, give people the information that they maybe don't get otherwise. And we figure we tell our story, you're going to remember a story, you know, of someone like us. So, yeah.
Yeah. What is your best advice to someone, a young person who's been diagnosed with breast cancer?
I mean, my first thought is just feel your feelings. Get the help you need. If you need extra help, you know, therapy or other mental health things, it can really make a difference to have a support. Because, I mean, for myself, I couldn't get out of bed until I had that all lined up, and even I needed medicine myself. But, yeah, just feeling your feelings is so important. And finding people, like there's so many things, it's like overwhelming. So I put a lot in my book, but I didn't put everything because it's too overwhelming. But there's just so many places you could find community and then be able to soundboard or just camaraderie or complain or whatever.
Absolutely.
I've made like lifelong friends already, you know.
Absolutely.
So
Worst club, best members, right?
it's really true. It's kind of wild.
What are some of your favorite online resources for someone who's young and diagnosed with breast cancer?
I like to talk about like ones that are less talked about, especially because I feel like I found them and they're cool. One is, the woman's name is Cynthia. She's a survivor and she started Learn, Look, Locate.
Oh yeah, I follow them.
Yeah, which is like, I don't know, I feel like the way that her website is, it's like, I don't know, it didn't overwhelm me. And you could like pick something, like kind of like my book, and be like, I need to learn more about this, you know? And then it's like the way she finds resources and people to explain it. I think it's lovely. And she shares a lot of stories as well. And I also benefited from the breast cancer, I think it's called breastcancer.org. Like they have, it's almost like old school. Like when I was a kid, I was in like message boards, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But same thing, like you put your diagnosis in your like signature. And so then you can like find a topic and click on it and then like see when the person said that and what they're, you know, it's just kind of a neat way to get information.
Breastcancer.org is really a great resource. It's scientifically based and really good resources, evidence-based medicine for all different types of breast cancer.
Yes.
And stages.
Yeah. And then I would say like for community, I really benefited personally because I'm triple negative. We have so much cool stuff, you know. I have my little hat right here that Lorelai made for the TNBC awareness.
Yeah. March 3rd. I participated.
Yeah, thank you. And that's huge for me, being triple negative. But I've liked also Surviving Breast Cancer has a lot of stuff with Laura Carfang. I don't know how to say her name. She's awesome. And then Elephants in Tea has been great because it is for all cancers, adolescent, young adult. And so I've gotten to know like people with different cancers. And
what's it called?
The Elephants in Tea magazine, it's called. So they have a free magazine that you can subscribe to, the paper one, and then they have all the stuff online as well. They have what I started going to was Friday night happy hour. So every Friday, I think it's at 6:30 now, Eastern, I think. They have happy hour. So like, and it's just fun. Like you just like talk around different stuff. And sometimes, one time we all muted our mics and screamed.
That's cute.
Yeah, it's like just cool. And they have events all over the United States, also like magazine release events. I got to participate in one. And you meet a lot of people in your area that were diagnosed young with different kinds of cancers. And then
Very cool.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, social media has its pros and its cons, but one of the big pros is the breast cancer community really
Yes.
is able to, it's so much easier to connect and find like-minded people who share a similar diagnosis. So
Yeah,
it's great for
totally.
that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Where can people find you and find you in your book?
Yeah, so I made a website for my book, so it's just my name, but it has my middle name in it too. So it's Erin Lee Perkins, and Lee is spelled Lee,
Mm-hmm.
and erinleeperkins.com, and then add Erin Lee Perkins on Instagram. Everything's Erin Lee Perkins. So
Erin Lee Perkins, you heard
yeah,
it here first.
yeah.
Thank you so much. Well, good luck with your book release. It's very exciting and
Thank you so
congrats.
much. Thanks for having me
Yeah,
on, and it's
of
really good to
course.
meet you.
You too. All right, you take care, okay?
All right, you too.